Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy. Welcome to Telon Times. Hi everyone, welcome to Telon Times. I'm Jeremy. This is the weekly show all about the classic MMORPG Vanguard, Saga of Heroes. Today is part 2 of our crafting episodes. In part 1, I ended up going on quite a big rant and showed a little bit of crafting and going through the motions. In part 2, I'm hoping to do less ranting and more showing. So, I'm on a quest right here, a crafting quest. As you can see, look in my quest log. There's tabs for all the different kinds of quest chains you can go on. Here's crafting. I'm doing this level 11. It's a white level, which means it's approximately my level. And you can see I'm a level, what am I, level 19 now? Which actually I'm getting pretty high up there. That is because I've been doing a lot of work orders and not really so much steady world quests. If you watched last week's, you'll know that work orders are kind of like grinding. They're kind of like daily quests for crafting. If you've played World of Warcraft or Runes of Magic and you know how you have daily quests that you can repeat, these you don't really repeat, but there's so many of them, and there's NPCs everywhere that has them, that they basically amount to being like a daily craft quest to just help you get your level up. You can get some really good stuff from it, and it can really help you gain XP, and you can get some pretty neat prizes and rewards and stuff like that, coinage. But again, we're heading into New Taranor because we have this Artisan Saga, which I just became an amateur artisan just now. Well, right before the last episode, and this was the first quest I got from that NPC that granted me amateur artisan status. So we're supposed to find Ashland Black Shield of the Banishers in New Taranor, and now luckily there's a quest tracker on here, so I can use it and follow my compass. And I'm somewhat familiar with New Taranor because I've been here a lot. So we're just gonna head on in and try to find this Ashland Black Shield, was it? Yes, Ashland Black Shield. It looks like there's a little bit of lag going on, which is not surprising. It is New Taranor, so New Taranor is kind of known for that, for being kind of a laggy spot. So we're going to have to kind of just fight through this and we'll suffer through it and hope that it gets better. One thing that may change, among many things that might change when the game goes free to play, and maybe even before then, because there is a dev team currently working on the game, supposedly right now. So there could be some changes happening as we speak. The audio is really picking up in this area. Audio is something I should devote an entire episode to. The music and audio in this game is just amazing. Checking my map here. I'm going to guess in some of these areas it boots you off your horse, but you can get back on in other areas too. So as soon as I get down this tunnel, and we come back to an outside area, I can get back on my trusty steed. Okay, so hopefully I can get back on. Even the audio is glitching a little bit. Well, we're only here supposedly to talk to this person and maybe get a new quest from them, and then we can just, you know, head on out. But what I'm doing here is I'm kind of going through the motions, and right away you can see that pursuing crafting isn't a whole lot different than pursuing regular adventuring quests, really. You have to find people, you have to get stuff for them, do deliveries. If you were a skinner, like if you took skinning, you could combine that with combat a little bit. You could be, you could fight and then get to skin the animals to get your stuff you need. Ooh, that was a big lag bubble. It's getting really bad. I don't think it's ever been this bad for me before. Let's see here. This is actually a huge area. It's pretty much like a large city. You can see lots of the bugs and glitches going on here. I think there's a doorway to another area. But, so crafting quests, they're gonna be asking you to make a lot of detailed stuff, and sometimes they'll want you to make it of a certain grade, so you can't just quickly make it. You actually have to try to make it high quality. This is the outside area, so I'm thinking this is wrong. I'm thinking we're very close. Some of these houses are locked. And in the first episode, as I said before, there are different quest chains. There's crafting tiers. You can do tier chains. And if we take a look at some of here's the crafting quest. Now, if we also look at I want to get into our so here we have to remember there's refining, finishing, assembling. Look at under finishing, there's work order, primary, secondary, miscellaneous, special, and then there's refining. There's many different things, and there are many different items and dusts and minerals that enhance anything. Even if you're doing just regular crafting and you're not doing it for a quest, say you just learned a recipe for a nice shield and you're like, oh, that's not too bad if I can make it A quality, and then you actually might be able to get some dust You can find things like dust of dexterity and dust of strength, and then you can apply those dusts during the process, and they'll add stats. If you look here, see those stats in green, +7 dexterity. That's what a dust can do. You can add dexterity, and of course you can have a higher grade simply by using your points wisely during the crafting process and coming out with like a grade A. So you can also do this on items that don't really are kind of useless to have an extra grade too, by the way, which I just find interesting, because it's interesting to me because I think it shows that there's future potential, and even if that future potential is never used, it's just there. So I'm gonna get, he's not in here. He's probably in that house right next door. This is something I love though. Like, there's so much inside. This is what I love. This is what I miss in newer MMOs. Newer MMOs just have what I call painted rocks. They're just mainly houses you can't go in, or they might have like one little room. Oh, maybe I didn't go here. Alright, that's my rant for this episode. See, some of these doors are locked. I don't think I can get in there without, So I might need diplomacy to maybe talk to somebody here to kind of weasel my way through the locks, or figure out another way. But that's going to end this part 2 of crafting, where we did no crafting at all. And I know that sounds a little disappointing, but I think I wanted to get out the gist of how crafting can feel like regular adventuring. And I think maybe I showed that a little bit, even though we kind of hit this dead end, which could happen in adventuring too, or diplomacy. But there's going to be many more quests, and don't be discouraged if you see lower level quests and you can't figure out how to complete them, and then you move on to higher level quests. Because it is odd. I found it odd for a while too, and I kept thinking I have to do these lower level quests, but you don't. Sometimes you don't. Like, I had this one for these building materials, and I didn't have the correct recipes for them, and I'm level 19, and I found out there was a level 10 quest turn in that gave me the recipes I needed to make some of these level 6 materials. And I knew I was level 19, but even if I was only level 10, that's still higher than level 6. So, you know, it didn't make sense, but that's, I guess, the way it is, because there's tier quests, there's regular world quests, there's work orders. You know, there's many different ways to learn recipes and refining and assembling, so don't get too discouraged about that. I mean, questing or crafting in Vanguard does have a learning curve. I mean, it's a complex system. It's not some little side system just slapped on, you know. So, you know, it's going to take a little bit of just looking into. Not a whole lot, really, honestly. And the community is great. As airheaded as I've been, they've stuck by me and stuck with me for as long as it took to help me out. So I think I think a lot of people are going to find a very pleasant, rooted, ingrained community when they start popping in, when all those new people start flooding in. If it is a big flood, which I think it will be. I think a lot of people at first anyways, and we'll see just how much when the time comes. But that's going to do it for this part 2, this kind of thinned down, watered down part 2 to crafting. I apologize. I did get some extra stuff out that I really wanted to get out, so it's not all in vain. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always find me on Twitter. I'm at Jeremy_Stratton. You can find me on Google+, Jeremy Stratton. And I just recently finally added a Facebook presence. You can find me there. I believe I'm Facebook/JustOneMore, spelled MMORE. And my blog is justonemore.com, MMORE. And all those links will be in the description below. And I'll see you guys next week.